You're not losing money because you're bad at your job. You're losing it because your system is broken.
What is currently happening is you lose. You're losing profit. I see it all the time, especially with roofers.
Don't watch this later. Every project without this is money gone.
One thing that all of you deal with is estimates for your clients, and that just has so many steps and so many layers, right? So currently, when clients call, they will ask you, hey, can you do this type of work? We've seen your Instagram or whatever they saw to find you, and they made the call. Now an appointment has to be set up. You need to go out and assess the property. You need to come back and run all your numbers to decide how much is this job going to cost. There's a million additional layers when you're a roofer and you're adding in the insurance, because now things have to go to the insurance the exact way that the insurance expects for it to come in. Do someone else a favor and share this video with them. Once those estimates are done, then the client has to review, the client may ask for something new, and you have to adjust. But then at that same time, materials have to start to be ordered, and all these other factors start to come into play that may also change your numbers or maybe even your profit of that project. So who is getting all of those different things done? The profit method would tell you, one, let's pinpoint the goal. Email has to always be checked within a 24, 36-hour period. And this is how we define the client's name or the project name, and everything is clearly laid out. When those emails come in, when those supplements come in, when all those pieces of information that change that estimate come in, there's a person who's responsible for collecting that information. There's also a person responsible to make the adjustments to the estimate and to the contract that the client will ultimately sign. When those things aren't done, when pieces are missing, what is currently happening is you lose. You're losing profit. I see it all the time, especially with roofers. When you are sending things out, the insurance says, hey, we don't want to pay you for that. And you have to prove to them that that's a necessary piece of the project. You need to now wait until that comes back in so that you're ensured that you're being paid. But what if somebody misses that point? What if they're not checking? What if all the boxes aren't being checked? And now you have a contract that when you go to execute on that contract, your profit is shrinking. So instead of making, let's say, $25,000 profit on that project, you're now down to about $10,000. And I've seen it over and over again, especially dealing with the insurance companies. So what can you do? You can decide that, one, the goal is we're going to increase our profit by 10% on every project. That means paying closer attention to the emails that are coming in, following up with the insurance, making sure that before that project date starts, everything has been reviewed, because that's how a lot of things are missing, right? And when those things are missing currently, what you do is, I'm not going to beat up my team. They did their best job. We still made $15,000 profit. So you're okay with that because you are constantly getting new work. So you're not taking the time to go back and say, I'm losing profit on every job, because there's always a new job. But the reality is, if you have to take 10 jobs to get the same profit of 5, don't you think it makes more sense to spend the time and do 5 and make a bigger profit? That's less time, less contracts, less running around for your team, less frustration, less things missed. The reality is, if you put the system in place, it makes taking the 5 jobs more profitable, but it also gives you the understanding, what is the bandwidth of my team? What can we handle and stay in this profit range? And then you can just increase that with your system. So your system is not a way to slow you down, point the finger, and have fault on your team. It really is a way to say, who's responsible for what? When is this review happening? How are the adjustments being made? And at the end of the day, all of those things point back to your profit. So the longer that you do without systems, the longer that you depend on just your team getting it right or getting it mostly right. That is the longer you are losing money. You're literally leaving money on the table with every single project. So I'm not telling you this because I want you to work with me. Literally, this has been a challenge, you know it is. And that's why you spend so many hours just making sure things are done, because you never defined how you want them done. So I don't want you to stay in that place. I want you to understand there are some simple things you can do with pinpointing your goals and defining the roles on your team that will literally instantly increase your profit.